Nightwish Army. How we doing, symphonic metal fans? How we doing, OG team? How's everybody doing? Hope everyone's having a great day. I personally got run into the ground at work last night, so I am exhausted and I am ready for some Nightwish. And Nightwish is one of those bands that always kind of gets my blood pumping. I see they've got a new song out and a new video. It seems like the reactions to this, much like their previous song, Perfume of the Timeless, the reactions have been all over the place. Some people love it. Some people are kind of like, oh, what is this? So it's very polarizing. Both tracks from this new album have been very polarizing. So that's fascinating. Um, it's certainly not going to be just another run of the mill album from Nightwish, if there is such a thing. They've been evolving for a while. Um, but I haven't listened to this. I've saved it from my ears because I wanted to react. So I am really interested in hearing what this sounds like and what's got people talking. Speaking of talking, guys, in the comments, I would like to know what are your thoughts on where Nightwish is at now. Do you think they're peaking? Do you think they're past their prime? Uh, where do you think they're at as far as their evolution? And of course, welcome to talk about the song itself and the reaction. But yeah, that's something I just sort of like to discuss with you. Also, there are ways to support the channel. We've got a really cool members area that we're working hard to expand. Same thing with our Patreon. Some really cool exclusive content, behind the scenes stuff, just things of me and Danny goofing around. It's really fun. Also, we have a Discord if you'd like to join that. Always could use some nice loud voices. But speaking of loud voices, Floor Jansen is one of the most powerful. So let's check the Nightwish out. This is called The Day of.
A new virus has now been discovered. You may be infected by mundane groceries.
In an unprecedented turn of events, astronomers have recalculated the flight
Several
path
people
of
have been evacuated from the site, but approximately
This is different.
Take shelter, skies are opening, Armageddon second coming, war of the worlds, the end of history. Take shelter, floods are rising, the wrath of thunder is drumming, end of days for mankind and for your kin. Fill those empty moments, fear more, in this brave new world of 84, fast death, last breath, AI to kill us all. Horse waste, covering London, Martians among us, Y2K, horde all aboard, the end is near.
All right, so that was apocalyptic, very dark. Both of it. Look at that image, the visuals and the music. Uh, the music is interesting. I want to say it's not what we've come to expect from Nightwish, but Nightwish has really been evolving for a while since Oceanborn, honestly. Uh, Even before that, if you look at Angels Fall First to Oceanborn, there's a big step there. Oceanborn to Wishmaster. Like you look at each album, and there's definitely steps made towards a different evolutionary point, I guess, for the band. I love the just the driving beat of this and sort of like the sparse synths here. It reminds me kind of Sleepwalker. Those of you that remember that, it was like a bonus track, I think, from Wishmaster. Just it was mostly synth and a little guitar. I think it was written for Eurovision, but this feels like that concept just expanded upon. Um, Floor's voice here. This is the sort of like there's no big belting from her. There's none of the like the operatic or classical style. Certainly none of the harsh vocals that she did in Revamp or even Yours Is an Empty Hope. But I love how she's handling this like fast talking vocal line. There's a lot of words here, and just how she's cutting off certain words and elongating certain words, and then kind of messing with the rhythm and the space. It's it's a fascinating vocal line without I think the use of Floor has been one of the criticisms of the last couple of Nightwish albums that they're not really letting her cut loose. But this is a good example of her showing what she can do as a vocalist without having to scream your head off. Uh, and that children's choir coming in, ooh, that definitely felt dark. There were some Danny Elfman vibes going on there, and how like it had those long sustained choral lines, and then it went to a more, um, I guess, active vocal line. Just a lot of different vocal dynamics right off the bat. The instrumental, it's mostly just the beat and sort of some synths in the background to fill things out. So I'm going to start from the beginning. This is fascinating right off the bat.
A new virus has now been discovered. You may be infected by mundane groceries.
In an unprecedented turn of events, astronomers have recalculated
I hope that's
flight
moisturizer.
Evacuated from the site, but approximately
Oh, that beat.
Take shelter, skies are humming, Armageddon second coming, War of the Worlds, the end of history. Take shelter, floods are rising, the wrath of thunder is drumming, end of days for mankind and for your kin.
I love the rising synth.
In this grave new world of 84, fast at last breath, AI to kill us all. Horse waste covering London, Martians among us, Y2K, horde all aboard, the end is near. Fear of the well-known, keep us safe. Too many for mother, drops will burn, so why bother? A new street sends you back into your cave. Stay away, cover up, feel the words, feeding humanity. Hide the unshot guns and the crippled dances. We are
Oh, okay, okay. Um, Guys, I'm really liking this. I understand it's definitely not typical Nightwish. The 80s vibe is strong with this one. The video, I got the concept of the Perfume of the Timeless video. It's going through history, our evolution as a species, our evolution as individual people. Um, this sort of looks like the band, the Zombified, floating through a series of like apocalyptic nightmare scenarios. That's all I can guess. So once again, in the comments, guys, tell me what your impressions of this crazy ass video are. Uh, this had to cost so much money. Props to the band. They're definitely going all out in representing their music visually as well. The perfume of the timeless video was gorgeous. This one is much more surreal and much darker, but it's definitely eye catching. So I'm gonna go back to what I said about Florence. The way she's handling this melody, she's using her lower register a lot more, and just the way she's varying the rhythms and the cadence of the words. It kind of reminds me of Bruce Dickinson and how he's able just to spit out all of these words simultaneously without taking a breath. But it's a bit more subdued, and it's a bit more, for lack of a better term, it's a bit more seductive. It's almost like the idea of the apocalypse is alluring. And I did take a peek at the lyrics. There's definitely a lot of apocalyptic imagery here, but it almost seems like it's about how the media is sort of constantly trapping us in this uh, crisis mindset, where we always think there's something right at our doorstep about to end the world, and that keeps us uh, amped up and emotional, and to be quite frank, not able to make particularly rational decisions. Social media does the exact same things. Like everything is a catastrophe. Everything is a catastrophe in the making. Everything is about to end the world, and there's no reason. There's no that's what I'm looking for. There's no okay. Let's step back and discuss this logically. There's no I guess maybe logic is the word I'm looking for. There's no rationality. So Tumos has come such a long way as a lyricist. Just listen to things like Elven Path off of Angels Fall First, and then listen to something like this, and he's certainly grown. And like, I'm an OG Nightwish fan. I guess I found them around Wishmaster from a demo CD in a magazine called Brave Words and Bloody Knuckles. So shout out in the comments if you're familiar with that magazine. But it was the song Deep Silent. No, it was She Is My Sin from Wishmaster that blew me away. Um, it's if you weren't there at the time, it's hard to explain just how unique and different Nightwish's sound was back then. There was no like symphonic metal. There were bands that were playing for things that would eventually be labeled that, within Temptation, The Gathering, bands like that. But Nightwish was just so unique at the time, and so I heard that and I was like, oh my god! So I got Wishmaster, I got Oceanborn, just went on. And I love that early sound, just that mixture of the heavy guitars, like the power metal sound, and that orchestral, classical, operatic side. I love that mixture. It was heavy on drama, and Timos's lyrics were also very heavy on drama. So it's been fascinating to see the band mature, and in particular, Tumos mature from this kind of a drama queen, for lack of a better term, into this sort of wizened, um, serene, enlightened individual. I think that is something that I mentioned when I listened to Perfume of the Timeless that I'd go back and sort of go through their catalog, sort of with an eye on the idea of evolution, and just Tumos's growth as a person, as represented in his music, is it's really inspiring. He used to be this like things like Poet and the Pendulum or Bye Bye Beautiful, these explosions of this wounded, anger or love or something like that. And now he's much more calm, contemplative, uh, singing about, writing about science. It's a fascinating transformation. And when I heard it that way, it's like, okay, now I can get into the newer stuff more. I'm always going to have an attachment to the older material just because that's, I was there when it first came out, and it blew me away. And those earlier albums legitimately saved my life in a lot of times. But I'm appreciating more and more what Nightwish has become. And God, I've been talking a while, so let's go back a little bit and get back into the music. Sorry about that, guys.
Track was flying, time for another fear made real. A need to feed, drive them all, a lustful, never-ending no more. A magic evil walks among us. Stay awake, cover up, fear the words that feed the young beast. Hide the unshot guns, the end is fear. We are the hillstar kids of your junkyard, the innocent diamonds unscarred, the moment of our lady, so many times past the we are the hillstar kids of your junkyard, the innocent diamonds unscarred, the moment of our lady, so many times past my due date.
A new
All
virus.
right. So right after I did that 14-hour spiel about new Nightwish versus old Nightwish, that guitar lick comes in, and that definitely gave me, older Nightwish vibes. Maybe not Oceanborn, but at least going back to Century Child or Dark Passion Play. I love the increased intensity in the drums. I love how that last verse had more urgency from Floor. Um, love how she's using like Fry in her sound, like she's sort of croaking into things. It it sort of adds to the I guess menace to the sound. And of course, towards the end there, she starts to cut loose a little bit. I remember in Perfume, I understood the concept of why she was submerged in the mix because she's part of the choir of ancestors and whatnot. I would have liked to have heard her cut through here a little bit more at that end, where she's, when she's belting, when she's doing the foregasm thing. But I mean, I would have liked for that, but have heard that be a bit more prominent. But other than that, like I loved Floor's vocal throughout the entire thing, including its placement. Uh, it's a different kind of melody for Nightwish. And if I could, real quick, I just want to sort of check out some of the lyrical images here. Okay, wow, this is. Take shelter, skies are humming, Armageddon, second coming, war of the worlds, the end of history. Take shelter, floods are rising, the wrath of thunderous drumming. There was thunderous drumming in this. End of days on all mankind. And for your kin, fill those empty moments. Fear more in this grave new world of 84. Fast death, last breath, AI to kill us all. Horse waste covering London. That's something that happened, I think. It sounds like a random line, but I think that there was actually something like that. I'll have to look that up. Martians Among Us, Y2K Horde. Yeah, it really does seem like feed the human beast, hide the unshot guns, the end is fear. Yeah, I think it just sort of seems like it's about uh, institutions and politicians and the media kind of keeping us in this constant state of emotional turmoil to where we're less likely to make uh, rational decisions, where we're less likely to take time and think about things. Just tell us that the end is near. We need to make a decision now, now. Yes, it's um, it's really grim, and that shows in the music. But it was also still kind of a. It had a cool beat. Uh, Tumas's arrangements are just beautiful. The rising synth pads. I love how the children's choir would show up in some of the later verses as well. And I think when you have a children's choir, um, you automatically think of things like Innocence. So when you have a song like this that's very dark and end of the worldish, and you have a children's choir, it's thinking, okay, so because there's kids with phones that have access to social media, so you're taking these kids' innocence away. You're keeping people from sort of indulging their inner child by keeping them in this constant state of fear. Yeah, it's fascinating. So, among everything else I've asked you guys to talk about in the comments, uh, tell me what your interpretations of the lyrics are, and then come to our Discord so we can talk more about this. So, I seriously, this is 20 minutes. I was hoping to make it 15, but it's Nightwish, and there's always a lot to talk about. So, thank you guys very much. Tuli, if you're there, uh, that's for you. Love you. But seriously, Nightwish fans, thank you very much. We've got, if you are unfamiliar, we've got a whole bunch of Nightwish reactions if you want to check those out. But yeah, I can't wait for this album. Really can't. I might do a review when it comes out. So thank you guys very much. There we go. I'm still running this whole YouTube thing. 2 years in, I'm still running. So, but yeah, thank you very much. Very much appreciate your time. And be seeing you in the next reaction. Music is your best support group. Listen to it frequently. Tumos is a crazy psychiatrist, too.